Hey everybody, JT Banks here. What I wanted to do today was I wanted to cover a video or do a video that talks about the major scale. I wanted to talk about what makes it the major scale and perhaps even a couple of riffs or licks that you could use that utilize the scale, things like that. So let's get started today. So the first thing we want to learn how to do is let's first just learn how to play the thing. Okay? There are a couple of ways that I like to play it myself. My most favorite way is the 3-note per string way because I like to shred a lot. So that's kind of the shredder scale, I suppose. So here's how that one goes. We're going to do it in the key of G. So the first note we're going to play with is this G note on the 6th string. I have a 7th string, so don't let that fool you. That's actually the 6th string that I'm playing with. And what's going to happen here is the 3-note per string pattern is a bit tough because it requires a big stretch on the first 2 strings. Okay, if you guys aren't used to doing stretches, one of 2 things. A, you can just work with the compact one that we're going to talk about here in a second, or B, and this is the most important thing, challenge yourself, and here's how you make it happen. Usually what happens is our thumb is way over top here. It's way over on top of the neck like this. And we're trying to stretch like that and we can't do it. Well, duh, because your thumb is way up here and it's kind of in the way, It's kind of making stretching a bit of an impossibility unless you did something like this. Here's the way you get it done. Bring the thumb more towards the middle of the back of the neck and have it kind of line up more with your middle finger. It's kind of the classical guitarist way of playing. Classical guitarists really know what they're doing. Trust me on that. So if you're wanting to attempt this, make sure your thumb is behind your middle finger and behind the neck. So far behind there that nobody can see it. And make sure it's not doing this. Make sure it's like this against the neck, not like that. Okay, so here's the scale. Here are the frets. 3, 5, 7. I use my 2nd finger for that 5. Same thing on the next string. 3, 5, 7. Next 2 strings do the same thing also. This one goes to 4, 5, 7. Once again, 4, 5, 7 on the next string. Then you shift up to the 5th position. 5, 3rd finger to 7, 8. Same thing on the high E string. 5, 7, 8. So there's the major scale in the 3-note per string version. We have 3rd fret, probably the best to start with the 2nd finger because we're talking about positioning here. Wherever your 1st finger is, that's what position you're in. So my 1st finger right now is resting on the 2nd fret, so right now I'm in 2nd position. That's what position we're going to play the scale in. So 2nd finger on 3 on the 6th string. Pinky's going to reach down, make sure that thumb's behind the neck, to 5. Then next string 2. Then 2nd finger 3, 5. Then you're going to go to the next string 2 with the 1st finger, 3rd finger to 4, pinky to 5. Next string, same thing. 1st finger 2, 3rd finger 4, pinky 5. Then your 2nd finger, not your 1st finger, is going to start us out on this next string. You're going to go to the 3rd fret, 2nd finger, and then 5th fret, pinky. And then the last 2 notes, 1st finger on 2, 2nd finger on 3. You could add the 5th fret up here if you'd like. That's up to you though. The major scale, what the major scale actually is, in my way of thinking, is it's actually a series of whole steps and half steps. Now, what is a whole step and a half step, you might ask? Here's what it is. Let's say you start on G on your guitar, and I say go up a whole step. What I'm actually telling you to do is move up 2 frets. So you just moved up 2 notes, really. A half step is just 1 fret. So you just go, see? And it works backwards even. So a whole step back would be doing that, or a half step back would be that. So the major scale is made up of a series of half steps and whole steps. And the way those go is whole step, half, whole step, whole step, whole step, half. Okay? Now, what on earth am I saying? There's actually 7 notes. And the 8th note, there are 8 notes, but the 8th note's really just the same as the first. So it's the octave. There are 7 notes in a major scale. What I'm talking about are the steps you take in between those notes. So if I were to draw it on a piece of paper, I'd draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then in between those dots I just drew is where I would draw the WWH, WWWH. Let's apply that to a certain key. So how do we know what notes are in the key of G major? Well, start with your G, then go a whole step up from G. A is our next note, because G, G sharp, A. It also helps to know the musical alphabet a bit. If you don't know what that is, if you don't know all the notes and all the flats of the sharps of the musical alphabet, I would advise you, please go study that right now, because otherwise you'll be lost. But I'll do my best to help you. Okay, so G, a whole step from G is A, and then what do? We go up another whole step. So we land on B. So we're going to do all this on one string, just so we can get the idea. So whole step, whole step. So after B, we just got G, A, B. Now we're going to go up a half step. C. Same note. Then we're going to go up 3 more whole steps, right? So from C, whole step to D, whole step to E, whole step to F sharp, and half step landing back on G. It doesn't matter what note you start on. That sequence of whole steps and half steps is basically what makes the major scale what the major scale is. You know, it's why it sounds the way it sounds. So that was the theory of the major scale. Those were the couple of the shapes that are used to play them. I'm going to try to put some tabs up with this as well to help you guys learn it from tabs and things like that. You know, if that's your thing. You know. So I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you click the like button if you like what you saw here. I'll try to get better and better at making these things as I go. So I hope to hear from you guys. Just appreciate you. All right. Take care, guys.